So four things to talk about that I thought were interesting, just from my first takeaway or just my first listen. Number one, the snippets we all heard were good enough to be on the album. The snippets we all wanted were definitely good enough to be on the album. Their album cuts, Kobe, Rolly, Kobe, Myron, Lotus, etc., etc. There's no reason why they couldn't have been on this album. There's really no reason. Moon Relate, etc., etc. Come This Way, especially. Like, they're literally all top tier songs that could have been on the album. That's one interesting takeaway I found. And the fact that they weren't on the album, I think points to a bigger thing. I think it points to the fact that that Uzi really looked at EA and didn't want to include any old songs. I think that's the first thing it really points to. He didn't want to include any old songs or anything like that. Because he wanted to include a really specific sound with EA. If you listen to this EA, I think this is all recorded in the space of like a very short time, and that's why everything sounds so similar. I've heard a lot of people say it sounds like the normal EA sounds very similar. It's a very similar sounding project, and that's because all these songs here, most of these songs like Come This Way, being Myron Lotus, or older songs, whereas these are like the newer version of the EA era, which is why it all has that like trap sound, that very, very heavily trap sound, and he wanted that specific EA sound. But this is to its detriment, because in my opinion it sounded too similar. And the song suffered. The song suffered as a result. And this is why you see so many people really gravitate in. Like, there's no doubt to me, already, just from judging what you guys are probably saying in the chat. I've heard a lot of people saying in the chat, and in my opinion, the deluxe is probably going to be better than the original. And I think that's going to be a pretty true statement, like across the board. And then they also add into this point, bro, it just needed features. Like, really listening to 18 songs, you can't hold 18 songs. Very rarely can an artist hold an attention for 18 songs with one feature. And that wasn't even really a feature. It was a mini feature, but Sid isn't really like a big presence on the track. So to have 18 songs and you only have one feature, you need to be a special type of artist to be able to hold a presence for that long, and I don't think Uzi was able to pull this off. And I think this album showed that he really needed features, and he does need features when he goes to like a longer project. I guess that really showed. Fourthly was my other point. What the deluxe version is more representative of the EA version, or even so more representative of the EA era. When we think about the Eternal Atake era, it's really from 2017 onwards, right? That's kind of like the big thing about the Eternal Atake era. We all know EA from that initial announcement to what it is now. And I think when we compare these two albums, in my opinion, this is the real Eternal Atake right here. This is what the album was meant to be. This was always the intended album. But the leaks really fucked it up. Leaks really ruined what EA is. And B, I think Uzi it was a deliberate decision. Like, if that kind of makes sense, it was a deliberate decision from Uzi to really change up what EA was, because he didn't want these songs to be on there, and it was very, very clear that he wanted it to represent like a newer version, a newer sound, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Do you guys prefer deluxe, or do you guys prefer the normal version so far? What do you guys think? Yeah, deluxe is definitely the OG EA, in my opinion. Like, no, I'm not gonna act like the original version doesn't go hard, but in my opinion, at least, no, I'm not rocking with that. You guys prefer the normal, but deluxe. Yeah, like I think this is really gonna be a consistent thing, and it's hard because we all have nostalgia, if you will, or like a want for these older songs. We all have like a nostalgia and a certain like thirst for these older songs, so we're inherently going to be a little bit more biased. Deluxe version, because we have an attachment to the, because we have like a pre-existing attachment to the songs. That's a hardest thing because we already wanted these snippets. We have like a pre-existing attachment. We already had a pre-existing attachment to Rolly, Myron, etc., etc. So we're like already off the rip. We're more likely to want these songs, more likely to enjoy these songs. But I think I can already comfortably say I'm gonna be replaying this album more than I'm gonna be replaying this album. I think I can comfortably say that right now. Yeah, that's what I think right now, at least. But yeah. I just wanted to give my opinion just off the first listen. I know I got a few DMs asking me about where the stream was and that. I just wanted to give my quick opinion to you guys, touch out to you guys, see what you guys are feeling. Yeah, that's facts. I completely agree with you, Passive Mob. I completely agree with you. Shout out to you guys for tuning in. We got like 100 plus viewers in here right now. What I'm gonna be doing, I'll probably be going live, maybe in a couple days again, breaking down the songs. I think I'm gonna be doing like a full breakdown of like what I think about EA compared to the other albums and stuff like that. I'll probably be doing like a ranking of all the Uzi songs and all the Uzi songs eventually. I think I want to do a live stream of that as well. So if you guys haven't, of course, make sure hit that like button, make sure hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, follow your boy on Instagram at your dig. I want to give a big make sure follow your boy on Instagram, man. Like, support your boy. I'm really out here.